were 16. If it wasn't for that red light, you would have been gone. Let me know when you're independent. Yeah. Hit me up when you know your limits. Are you in that kind of addiction, obsession? I wasn't that charming on that night of September. I swear, ooh, I care. But you're gonna run me over. Don't know what could've told you. I keep my thoughts to myself. These strings are all that helps. But I didn't cry once, not once. I couldn't force a tear. Tell me what you know about true love, true. Shed a tear no more since I found resurgence. I found my way up, you didn't get me the surface, but you'll find me in another life. Bring it back for another ride. I can't shed a tear no more. No, I don't wish you were here no more. No tears, no fears, it's all the same with her, distract, retract my feelings, fantasy. No, I don't relate, despite the chains I take since Marietta and alright. The same house, new car, in that ditch each day. Round the corner, I miss you, my friend. Way back when we didn't need a girlfriend or hide at 5'10". Oh, the good days when I didn't need space. There was no one to chase, didn't catch the same feeling, same week, same street. But now it's different, right? I'm in a different light. Begun to realize there ain't shit in your eyes. I'm too scared, I'm too. Can't shed it to no more since I found resurgence. I found my way up, didn't get me the surface. Find me in another life. Bring it back for another ride. I can't shed it to you no more. No, I don't wish you were here no more. No tears. Stop. You've been acting crazy. So take me back real slowly, like you told me we do. I know you're lonely. You are my only. Want you to hold me. You are my homie. You want the old me. Wish you had told me. Wish you had told me. Like you used to, you don't fly like you knew me. Did you change since the last time we talked? Since the last time? Can we change it? I don't know how I'm feeling about this. don't know. Breathe. My head's under the water. Wish I lay on your shoulder. You try, but I wish someone would make me stop thinking. What you want from a chemical? You put my heart on a pedestal, yeah you did. Never once did I sweat, yeah. Wish you the best, yeah. Hope you get some rest, cause you'd always stay young. Hope you don't test your love. I only wish you kept me from my sleep. I never thought you'd keep me from my dreams.
Ash falling from a pedestal, it's all melted in your chemicals. Call me the one, now it's just a dream. You said that we'd be in a limousine. Now you're far and I'm on your leash. I feel like a dog trapped by the queen. Try changing me, become your pristine, but I can't go there, it's not my dream. I wanted when I stepped to you, calling enough when you wouldn't come through. Crushing down is my darkest dream. Don't bite at me with your shining teeth. No, from my sleep. I only wish you kept me from my sleep. Never thought you'd keep me from my dreams.
I only wish you kept me from my sleep. I never thought you'd keep me from my dreams. One day, in the middle of these, you'll say, oh, what a wonder it would be if you were next to me. I went another way, 1,000 miles from where we'd stay. I'll say, I'm fine, but thank you very much. You ruined all my trust. And I swear to God, if you knew what you meant to me. But I sit and wait for if we both could see. We'd be together right now, no fears right now. I've grown since then. Demons won't reach me now. Taught myself how to breathe for once. If we're meant to be, then I'll see you in this life, but I can't guarantee these words I speak. It's just my hypothesis. Back then, I haven't felt nostalgia since back when the clothes I chose were my only problem. I didn't have a fashion sense, but I digress. Too long, it's been since 2002, I guess. You call me grown, but I thought you'd show me best. Along the ropes I've yet to climb. And I swear I thought that you'd be next to me. If we move along to where we're supposed to be, we'll find each other somehow. It's this I vow, I've grown for you. Demons won't reach me now. Taught myself how to breathe for once. And if we're meant to be, then I'll see you in this life, but I can't guarantee these words I speak. It's just my hypothesis. Hypothesis. She don't like my taste in music. She say I'm too confusing. Hypocrisy, I'm honest. Your music taste is garbage, and that's just me being nice. It's just me being nice. She don't like the things I eat. She say it's bad for me. I wish you didn't care. I wanna feel your hair. I wish you just shut up. Just shut up for a moment. Appreciate your heart because it's growing. You treat it like shit and now it's broken. I'm hoping that you find time that's not mine, cause I'm finished with all of your armbands. And I never thought I'd see your face again. Kept your hoodie, but you know we're better friends. Said that since I was 10. Never knew what I meant. Regardless, always put a smile on her face. I know she never really took on my taste in music. She say I'm too confusing. Hypocrisy, I'm honest. Your music taste is garbage, and you can't tell me otherwise. She don't like the things I eat. She say it's bad for me. I wish you didn't care. I wanna feel your hair. I wish you just shut up. Just shut up. I waited. Let's get a table for two. I don't know what to do about it, and I can't figure out what it means. It's always more than it seems. And I know it's been a while without the sight of your face. So
I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. But what's up? So I'm just gonna go ahead and like get right into it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and play through the song and just like let you guys listen to it, and then we're gonna go over like every part of the song from start to finish, and that's gonna be fun. So here. I wonder if this is gonna work. Okay, hopefully that worked. Did that work? Yeah, it did work. What's up, guys? So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna start from the beginning and work our way through it. Okay, hold up. Why is that not working? No, I literally had this planned out, guys. Hold up. She say it's bad for me, bad for me. Oh yeah, I know how to fix this. I'm so sorry. Like preferences, audio, and Logic goes to iShow. Okay, here we go. If this doesn't work, I'm done. What's going on here? Okay, so we got 5 people watching, sorta. Let me turn up the headphones so I can hear what's going on. And then I'll be gone. Okay, there we go. So it's pretty loud. But yeah, so let's just listen to it from the beginning.
I don't wanna live another lie tonight. Stay with me, baby, I know it's dark outside. You get too attached and I'll be gone by sunrise. Can't tell the difference. No more sleeping with a mistress. You know I keep my distance. Just please don't let me down. But it doesn't matter, right? Our promises left that night. You keep all your friendships tight, but nothing really matters when you're out of sight, does it? I hope he's big and strong, and everything you wanted I already had. But it doesn't matter, right? No, it doesn't matter, right? I'm falling, and I hear more than you know. I find excuses for everyone I've loved. Affection only diverts. What are you looking for? Some kind of empathy. The only one who cares is me. Is me. Go and tell me I'm your soulmate, and am I the only one you don't hate? Don't keep me up at 3 a.m. please. I've got my boundaries.
Okay, so that whole section right there, I like to call like the first act of the song, because really there's like 3 different acts in the song. There's like the beginning with the piano, and then there's the second part, which is all the trappy, hip-hoppy kind of stuff, and then obviously there's the third act, which is this section right here, and it all kind of plays a part with the story, with like the lyrics and everything. But I'm not gonna talk about that on here. We're talking strictly about like production. I could do another thing on that, or I don't know, but like a fake genius interview or something. But so yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. We have this monstrous MIDI piano right here. So what you hear on the song, I didn't actually play. I just wrote it and turned it all into realistic sounding piano. So it's actually not a person playing the piano. It's actually just me. I wrote all this, and I don't know if I can actually play this like actually on piano, because I mean I tried, but I mean it's really complicated, and a lot of it I'm not even sure is humanly possible on piano, which is not conventional for this genre, but we're just gonna go with it. So I'm just gonna solo the piano because it gets misinterpreted a lot when you're listening to the actual song. There's a lot going on that you guys probably don't hear, but yeah, so this is the piano. then and that's all I'm gonna go over for now. But yeah, you can hear there's lots of crazy stuff going on. Not just like production wise, but musically. This is I started home with this. This is what I started the song with, and we open up with this huge arpeggiated minor 4 chord, and that chord right there is just so beautiful to me, and like I just love the minor 4 chord, so I just decided to start the song with it because why not? And then of course it has a little piano melody thing going on, and then it goes into that boom, boom, boom. It's a 6, and then it goes to the flat 6, and then to the 4. But y'all don't care about that, so. But so y'all can see like the individual MIDI notes and everything. It was very interesting to write this part by itself in the beginning, and then turn it into what it actually became. But so production-wise, we have just some regular EQ, some compressor, a limiter, and of course reverb, and we have a chorus on it too, which was a very bold choice I think on my part because I don't usually put chorus on piano, but without chorus, this is what it sounds like, which is crazy. And also I'm gonna be answering any questions you guys have. Feels like I'd hear this in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's very like that, you know. So other than that, not much else is going on musically except we have this other minor play cadence over here, and then later it does this cool chord progression, which is a Ionian lead, I think, or some shit like that. I don't know. But so that's the piano by itself, and then of course with adding everything else on top of it was insane. So for starters, we have this double lead. If you listen, there's one vocal on the right and one vocal on the left. And I recorded them both separately.
I don't wanna live another lie tonight. Stay with me, baby, I know it's dark outside. You get too attached and I'll be gone by soon.
But so there's very, very heavy processing on this. Marshall is here and he's watching the stream, but he can't get to the comments. All right, all good, man. I think if you like refresh the page and like click on the actual video again, you can see the comments. But so yeah, that's that. There's really heavy processing on all the vocals in the song. That's what I usually do. There's 3 compressors. And I think a mistake a lot of people do is just put one compressor on the vocals and then just like compress the hell out of it. But what I like to do is put 3 different compressors on, which adds it just adds more. I don't know how to say it right, but it adds more real like kind of compression to it rather than just compressing with just one compressor. It makes it more natural, I think. And then of course a de-esser, pedal board where we have like this kind of like overdrivey effect.
I don't wanna live another lie.
Without it sounds like that. And with it, it sounds like that.
Stay with me,
Just adds a little bit. And of course we have we also have a vocal transformer, which is kind of adding just a tiny bit of formant change, just as like a, you can barely tell the difference, but like this is it with it on.
Me, baby, I know it's dark outside.
And then if I were to just like play this one part over again, and then this is with it off.
Stay with me, baby, I know it's dark outside.
It kind of just like tones it down a little bit, which helps, especially when I'm doing double vocals on both sides.
Stay with me, baby, I know it's dark outside.
And then of course those are not hard panned, but they're panned left and right like 22 degrees. And so in the middle actually we have this high vocal.
I don't wanna.
And if you're listening with headphones right now, you can hear that this kind of like this thing right here, it goes from the left to the right, panning. Like if I were to open up the automation for this part, the panning goes, oh, not that one, shit, this one right here, it goes from the left to the right there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I have all of this like color coded, so y'all can see pretty much what's going on. All the purple is like background vocals and stuff like that, supporting vocals, and then all the pink ones are lead vocals. And then these ones up here are just instrumentations for the first act, or like the intro section, or whatever you want to call it. But just at the bottom we have this bass. And I like how it has that thump in the beginning, because it kind of helps with the impact, especially right here where we're going to the, I don't wanna live another life, you know. And then after that, the bass cuts out, and we go into this triplet flow kind of section. What else is over here? We also have, oh my god, I forgot to mention, we have this reverse vocal coming in right here. And it cuts off right there. It cuts off right there, like halfway through the first part. Because I like how it gives it space right after that. But after this first part, like I said, we go into this triplet section, where it kind of lays down a little bit, but we get these kicks. We get these like this right here, boom, 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 and I like that. You keep all your friendships tight, and it kind of feels like it's building momentum to something, and it is, but it's definitely not what you think it is. It goes to this major lift right here. It goes to the 1 chord, which is very interesting for people who are interested in music and know a lot about music. I haven't had, so far in the song, I haven't hit the 1 chord at all. It's just all been on the 4, the 6, and the sharp 5. And yeah, that's it up until now. So we hit that 1, and it's kind of like a moment of release, especially with all of these background vocals. So what I'm trying to do here with you guys is I'm trying to like give you insight on what my creative decisions were here. So we have, I hope he's big and strong and everything you wanted. Just to solo the background vocals. This is everything that went into this part. It's crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of the vocal performances on here were not my best. Like I kind of just hit record on a lot of stuff, and I just went with it. And in the final product, it really didn't make that much of a difference. But it didn't make that much of a difference that all my vocal stuff weren't like to my best ability. But I feel like I definitely could have done better, you know. Which sucks to say now that I've already released the song and everything, but you know, it's all right. And then right here, which is interesting, we add a center lead vocal, so it's right, left, and then also center. So that kind of gives it more. I hope he's big and strong and everything you wanted I already had, but it doesn't matter, right? No, it doesn't matter, right? That's funny. You can kind of hear like a click there. No, it doesn't matter. Not there, dang it. Right. No, it doesn't. That's funny. Yeah, no, there's lots of stuff I accidentally left in here, which is great. Just because it's such a huge production, there's a lot I honestly just like forgot to work on. So right here, how I was saying it's such a big impact, we also have the bass come back in. I hope he's big and strong and everything you wanted I already had, but it doesn't matter, right? No, it doesn't matter. And then back to that original motif, the 6 and the sharp 5 and then the 4 right there, kind of leading back to the, kind of like, it's kind of like a motif through this first section, which is pretty cool. But it doesn't matter, right? No, it goes into a quiet section. So that right there, the vocals, it goes quiet for a second, and then it comes back with an even bigger impact with all these vocals right here too. So we got let's see if it's gonna play.
And I hear more than you know.
I sang this insane part right here. This right here. So I have obviously I have a pitch corrector there on there. It's auto tune right there. But without it, let's turn off the auto pitch and see what it sounds like. Yeah, no. I just put for a lot of this stuff, honestly, I have auto tune on for stylistic effect. None of that sounds like, oh, he's just saying that because he doesn't want to cover up that he has bad pitch. But no. Especially in a lot of the newer a lot of the stuff I'm working on now that I'm going to be releasing soon, auto-tune is definitely used as a stylistic and kind of almost like a storytelling kind of effect, and that sounds so out of line for me because I don't usually, especially with Give Me Peace, there was barely any auto-tune on that at all, except for on Tell Me What You Want, but that's a different story. Again, even there, it was for stylistic use, and it's the same thing here. I don't use it because I have bad pitch. I use it because it makes it sound better. And it's the same thing with probably every artist you listen to on a daily basis. Like, everyone uses autotune whether you know it or not.
I find excuses for everyone I've loved.
So going into this build-up kind of section right here, we have, number one, this chord progression, which I love. Let me solo this part because it's like, there we go. Boom. Okay. And then it goes to the 6th chord. And then the 6th major. And then up to the 4 again. And then it goes down to the 6 and then the 6th major again. So I really love that a lot. I don't know where that came from. I know that's probably a theme used in a lot of stuff, but I was just feeling the 6th major at that point in time, so I was like, you know what, fuck it. So on the vocals right here, I have obviously, as you see, the lead vocal in this song, there's lots of different lead vocals. There's lots of different layers. There's the ones from the intro, there's the ones from intro again, and then there's the build up right here, which has a completely different processing than the actual verse that comes up next, as you can tell. Well, kind of, not really. It's hard to tell in a lot of situations, but yeah, there are different
Find
excuses. So and then over here, and then over
when
here.
You don't keep me up at 3 a.m. please. I've got my back.
And then we got
I'll
this.
let you go, let you know, babe. You're not.
All of them have like very slightly different processing that you can really only notice if you have a good ear. Like, for example, a lot of them are EQ'd way different. A lot of them are EQ'd way differently than each other. Like, for example, this one right here, the build-up, I cut out a lot of the lows and pushed a lot of the highs because I wanted it to be more pressureful, have more pressure right there. And then in the verses, I kind of wanted it to fit more with the instrumentation that was going on. So as you can see, I cut out a little less of the lows, and then I pushed down the highs just a little bit from what they were before, to fit in with the rest of the mix. And I feel like it added a lot of texture, which I really liked. But so here in this build-up section, we also have this high octave.
Everyone I've loved, affection only diverts. What are you looking for? Some kind of empathy. The only one who cares is me. Is me. Go and tell me I'm your.
Okay, so yeah, there's that. In a lot of different parts of the song, I only layer it with an octave, just like in the beginning. Actually, it's just those 2 parts, but it doesn't matter. Also, what else? So yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on. If you listen closely, this performance right here, this high octave, it's not my best performance either. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of the background vocals were kind of half-assed, just because I just wanted to get it over with because there's so much to do. But what I really like about this part is this last chord right here, which is so dope. It's amazing. This is great. I love this so much. There's this. There's like, damn it, hold up. Let me go back. Have y'all said anything? Kanye and Bon Iver talk about it a lot. It highlights imperfections and makes it contrast emotion. Auto-tune is sort of its own unique instrument. Yeah, exactly, dude. I feel the exact same thing. Relevant, dude, not gonna lie, I stayed here for your Minecraft graphics, but now I'm kind of liking your music. Dude, thank you so much. I kind of look at my old Minecraft stuff, not as really like a thing that I didn't enjoy, but as something that's in the past now. I'm moving forward. I'm doing different things now, and I appreciate that a lot. So this, yeah, let's get right back into this. So like this chord right here, we have just like what's the word? What's the term in music where it's like, oh, tension and release. That's what this is all about. There's a low octave of that, and then we have this right here. Oh boy, hold up. It was on. The input was on. Whoops, my bad. And then, so yeah, I'm not gonna go over every note. That was I really shouldn't like be that specific about everything, but I just want to show you guys how I love that part so much. Just like originally, I also had like a kick drum to go with it. Like it was like boom 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 boom, but it really didn't. It wasn't tension right there. It didn't feel right going into this part, so I completely removed it, and then I heard just the vocals, and I was like, that's cool as hell. That's really amazing. And also I have the bass. The bass right here is different from everything else because it doesn't stay to the typical root note. It actually goes from the root note right here. Boom, ba. So if I were to move this up like an octave or two, you guys would actually hear what note it is. It's the major third of the 6, which is the note that kind of makes that tension, you know? So when we, for example, if I were to go over here and just play this last chord right here, or these last 2 chords, it goes it's the exact same chord, but it's just major now, and you can hear because you see how let me move it up. This note goes down to this note, da, right? So that note right there is what the bass goes to, and that just kind of, it creates this like, oh shit, something's about to happen, something's about to come, and I'm gonna die. So with that, like we have later on, there's not much else with the bass that's very interesting, other than some like 808 slides and stuff like that. But I really love the intro bass. It's just it just complements what's the instrument so well, and the vocals. So going into Act 2 right now, let's go ahead and just like play this whole part.
Go and tell me I'm your soulmate. Am I the only one you don't hate? Don't keep me up at 3 a.m. please. I've got my boundaries. Am I the only one that still just thinks you're lonely? I know you're still keeping me on your timeline, and I know we're more than just friends. If you got time, I'm on my own. I'm on my own. I'll let you go, let you know, babe, you're not coming back home. You're not coming back home. I finally found myself. I won't let you fuck it up for me. I won't let you fuck it up. I don't wanna live another lie tonight. I guess I fucked too much up, now it's cold outside, and I don't even need a ride home. Don't text my phone. I blocked your number cause we're better off alone, baby girl. Defeated by the lies I tell myself. Don't reach out cause you know I care about your health. Regardless of the pain that you know you dealt, that you know you dealt, that you know and I take that to my grave. I tell myself every day, follow up with what you say.
Okay, so that's the part we're going to be going over real quick. So, starting off strong, we have this verse right here, which is bonkers, bro. There's so much going on right here. Like, I think this is the most that's actually going on in this song. Like, the most layers I have in a single part. This part was so hard to mix. I'm not even going to lie. Like, mixing the vocals was such a pain right here, because there's just so much instrumentation and so much that I had to focus on. And even in the final mix, even in the final master, I was not super happy about how this part right here turned out. You guys probably loved it, but for me, there's so many tiny imperfections that I wish I had paid more attention to in the long run. But so to start off, we have this piano. It's an electronic piano, so it goes like this. Yeah. And then goes to the major third. And that's the only part in the song that uses that cadence, unfortunately. But so that's that. And I guess I can just okay, let's start this part by looking at like the entire beat as a whole, like without the vocals, just so you guys have an idea. So let's see here. There were lots of did something go wrong with the stream? Like, did this okay, I think the stream's back to good. There was a notification. But so let me start off with the hi-hats. I feel like the hi-hats deserve a lot of attention here, because it's not like stereotypical hi-hats. It's actually, we have where is it? We have the trap hats right here, which are this.
I've got my
right that. We have that, and then we have that layered with these real hats from a drum kit through Logic.
my boundary.
And then let me actually I'll go right after this. I'll go over the fill right after this. But also one thing I forgot to mention right before we go into that. In the build up section, I also have these like these shakers that are playing. And you can probably notice them throughout this first section, but they're most prevalent right here. It's just and I just felt like that's such a good building phrase right there. Like, I love that rhythm so much, so I just decided to use it. And it's between two different shakers, but the main one is just this rhythm right here. It has a small delay on it, which kind of makes it has a dotted eighth note delay on it, so that's why it has that like that. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that real quick because I really love that. So layered with the actual hi-hat and the trap hi-hat is this open hi-hat, which is actually very low in the mix. I don't know if y'all will even be able to hear it. So I added that for the sole reason that it didn't feel full enough. Like, I had finished it and I had the hats ready and everything. So this is what it sounds like without the open hat.
Go and tell me I'm your soulmate. Am I the only one you don't hate? Don't keep me up.
To y'all, to you guys, that probably sounds no different, right? But to me, I hear some kind of emptiness going on. So adding those open hats was kind of just like the cherry on top that kind of just made it all come together. And here it is with the open hat.
Go and tell me I'm your soulmate. Am I the only one you don't hate? Don't keep me up at 3 a.m. please. I've got my boundaries. Am I the only makes you lonely, lonely. I know you're still keeping me on your timeline, and I know.
So yeah, let me just go over this fill real quick. I love this fill so much, and I can't wait to do it live. It has a kick in it actually, so let me solo the kicks with that too. So it's play it. There we go. Dude, what the fuck? Okay. Yeah. So I love that, and I can play it on drums actually. I just decided to do it in MIDI because I felt like it would be like the most simple way to do it. So it's drums are insane on this. Yeah. So going over to the snares, we have actually 4 different snares layered in. So we have so obviously we have the trap snare, which gives it the trap sound. And then we have this one added on. And then another trap snare added on, just a tiny one. Just gives it a little bit of like punch and reverb. And then finally we have an actual snare added on. Goom. Goom. And the snare, just that snare by itself. It sounds kind of wimpy because I EQ'd it a little bit. But I just wanted it to fit better.
Just friends if you got time, I'm on my own.
And it works amazingly. So for the kick actually isn't MIDI here. I really feel like I should have made everything an audio file to make this faster. But I didn't. So we have kicks as audio files, which is cool, but the kick is from, I don't even know what the kick's from. It's from a pack I have. Boom, 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 boom. I tried my hardest to make that kind of like sound that comes right after the kick go away, but I wasn't really able to, so it's just kind of there. The push.
I've got my back.
So other than that, we have this 808, which is by the way, I really don't know how to make like hip hop beats or anything, so doing all this was like a first time experience. I think I did pretty good, but so one of the more weird like decisions I made, in the end I just had bass, just like actual played bass, like this bass right here. Let me play it. So again, I kind of felt that it was lacking some bottom tone. It was lacking some like bottom in the EQ. So I decided I would just go ahead and layer it with a very faint but prevalent 808, which is this. Let me hold up. Wait, here it is. Boom. So y'all probably can't hear it well if you're not using headphones, but what you'll notice if you listen to Jaden Smith a lot is that this chord progression is like a carbon copy of the intro of Sire, the album, which is the 4 tracks. It's called Blue. But the chord progression he uses is this like boom, 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 boom. But it's just that motif that I kind of copied, but the rest of it is kind of different. And I was even like, I was playing Blue by Jaden Smith in the car with my brother today, and he was even like, hey, this kind of sounds like your song. That's kind of weird, don't you think? And I was like, yep, that's because I literally used the chord progression. But we're not gonna talk about it. Those open hats were definitely the right move. I know, right, Ian? Marshall, it sounded familiar, but you add so much, it doesn't matter. Thank you. It was definitely, I loved this chord progression so much.
Go and tell me I'm your soulmate.
All the bass sounds like this. It's pretty crazy, but also an interesting thing that I figured out how to do while I was doing the song is I actually added a sub under the kick, and it makes it punch a lot more. So this is if you're wearing headphones, this is a lot easier to hear, but if you're not, you're probably gonna have to listen a little bit, or you just won't hear it at all. But this is it. and that's just like under the kick. So it goes especially when you're listening in a car, it's very beneficial, and it definitely thumps a lot more like that. I definitely learned a lot about hip hop producing while I was doing this. So that's the actual drums and like the bass by themselves. I can just play that right here. So it's just, damn it, no, hold up, stop. Boom, boom, boom. This. And then as you can tell, it obviously there's a low pass that happens, and it's just very 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 nice. I like it a lot, and I did that with the vocals too. Sorry, I'm really going everything kind of fast, but so right here we also have that, like I said, we have that piano, and we also have the shaker going in the background. But other than that, we have a cymbal that kind of like helps amplify. Go and tell me I'm your soulmate. Am I the only one you... And then we have another cymbal. We have another cymbal. I know you're still keeping me on your timeline, and I know we're more than just friends if you got. Which I love a lot. And also, if you listen closely, we also have this guitar. Ooh, okay, all right, okay. Definitely had the input on for that one. My bad, but ignore that. And then kind of fades off in the difference, but I have that little like blues bend at the end of there, which I enjoy doing. And also, if you listen really closely, we have some vinyl crackles in the background. And that just adds all the texture you really need. So after we finish this, I'm gonna go get some more water because I'm getting kind of thirsty and unable to talk. But last thing, we have this transition right here, which is the when you cool. So on to vocals. We have number one. We have regular vocals layered with octave down vocals instead of octave up vocals because I just felt like it sounded. Go and tell me I'm your soulmate. Am I the only one you don't hate? Don't keep me up at 3 a.m. please. I've got my boundaries. Am I the only one that still just thinks you're lonely? I know you're still keeping me on your timeline, and I know I'm. Yeah, that's the first thing. And other than that, we just have some kind of faint ad-libs going on in the background that I felt like helped just make it more energetic, which are these right here. Dude, it's honestly just like me talking. So yeah, that a lot of the ad libs are me just kind of like I honestly took all the ad libs in just like one take because I didn't want to just go over it because I felt like it had to be in the moment. So a lot of, especially this one, you hear me just like mumbling. Right there, it sounds like Cardi right there. I sound like Playboy Cardi. Boundaries. Okay. As far as the lead vocal goes, it's pretty much the same processing as before. Here it is. The only one that still just thinks you're lonely. I know you. We got a slight reverb on it. I always use chroma reverb just because I feel like that's the warmest reverb that Logic pretty much has. And of course, we also have the vocal transformer from earlier that's adding just a little bit more texture and just a little bit of pitch correction because not my best performance. If I was up to play this without pitch correction. It's probably gonna sound really bad, because, like I said, I hate to be this way. I hate to have to like tell you guys. By the way, I didn't really give a shit about vocals in the song, so I didn't try hard. But this is it without.
Go and
pitch
tell
correction.
me I'm your soulmate, am I the only one you don't hate? Don't keep me up at 3 a.m. please. I've got my.
It just feels unrefined without it. So I added the pitch correction, and it just makes
My
it.
boundaries. Am I the only one that still just thinks you're lonely?
It just fits a lot better, and that also goes into a stylistic thing. I'm not gonna really talk about stylistic stuff again because we already talked about that. But I did use it here for its intended purpose because I didn't have the best performance, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, unless you're overusing it, not for stylistic purposes. I mean, but it's whatever. So going into the hook section, have you all said anything? Let's see. Hey, what's up? How many tracks does it have? Have I heard Jaden's new album? Hold on, let me answer Marshall. Have you heard Jaden's new album? Yes, I have heard CTV 3, Cool Tapes Volume 3. I love it. It's amazing. My favorite song is definitely Photograph. It definitely has a very bluesy, not bluesy, definitely has a very Beatlesy kind of writing style. And also, we have 123 tracks here in total. Before I organized it, it was at like 160 something, but that was because I had so many unused tracks from duplicating background vocals so much, which is fun. But yeah. So that was that. Let me go ahead and go into the hook section right here.
I'll let you go, let you know, babe. You're not coming back home. You're not coming back home. I finally found myself. I won't let you fuck it up for me. I won't let you fuck it up. I don't wanna live in.
So something I was really worried about when writing this hook is the fact that this line, this isn't it, this one right here.
Hey, you're not coming back home. You're not.
So I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I think it's the exact same lyric and melody from a Black Bear song, especially the background vocal right here. That's I feel like I know it's in a Black Bear song somewhere. I don't really care though. It was just it was a last minute decision. And also, of course, in this part we have the octave vocals from earlier, but they're high up again because this part's kind of like the hook in this song is kind of like you're like flying free as a bird. It's supposed to kind of feel like you're soaring before you go back into the verse section again and you're on the ground and you're racing as fast as you can. That's kind of how I envisioned it a lot. But so with the lead vocals here, there's not much different. We just don't have that same the vocal transformer from earlier that's adding the kind of bit of texture. We do have a bit of extra reverb to make it feel more spacey here.
Let you go, let you know, babe. You're not coming back home. You're not coming back home.
This is pretty cool. Let me check this one this time. I'd surely get yeah, dude, it's insane. What did Ian say? How do I? Well, y'all are saying a lot. Holy crap. Marshall said it's gorgeous. Yes, definitely like 60s, 75s. You really just embrace it. It's amazing. Exactly, dude. And Ian said, how do you stay organized while working on something as large as this? So actually, after I finished this and it was all done, really I should say before I organized it, before I got it ready to be on this live stream and like show you guys, it was not organized at all. Like there were tracks just all over the place. Like I kind of had designated areas for like background vocals and for lead vocals, but other than that, it was just all over the place. I will say that like this part right here, all these instrumentals right here, all the beat part, it's I kind of had this all in place, but nothing was color coded. It was all just like the default colors of Logic. So I honestly, I don't even know how I was so I was able to like find my way through it. I just kind of like got used to it after so long. So I want to say like producing and writing this song altogether took, I want to say, like 3 months total, because I started in late July. Yeah, no, late June. I started in mid to late June. That's when I started on this song. Because I remember I had the piano written out, and then I was like, all right, I actually want to do something with this. So I just kept working on it. The writing process was insane. Because as you can tell, this song has this song is structured really weird. There's lots of weird structuring going on in this song. But other than that, let's see what else do we have here. We have the shakers again, which come back for a surprise. But they have a high pass on them, or not a high pass. They have a low pass on them. So you can't really hear them that well. But they're there.
I'll let you go, let you know.
And I kind of just if I look in automation here, the reverb on the snares, I put up reverb on pretty much everything because I wanted this part to feel so much better. And that's also an important part of mixing and just like and producing in general. For specific sections, you definitely want to utilize effects to their fullest potential, especially with the automation. And for example, with this section, I wanted this section to feel open and huge because it's the hook, and I wanted there to be lots of space so the lead vocals could shine through instead of just sitting in the mix alongside all the other instrumentals and snares and kicks and all that. So really here it's literally just I have piano actually happening up here. It's the same piano from earlier, but it's cool. Where are we? Yeah, okay, so piano lays out for the first half of the hook, but it comes in halfway through. So for the first half of the hook, it's very, very, very open, and it's just the vocals and the bass. It's just the vocals and the bass, and very, very slight instrumentation, and the snare and the shakers and all that. Halfway through, though, we're introduced to the kick and the piano again. Right here. Let me play
You're
it.
not coming back home.
Boom.
I finally found myself.
So we can feel right here, tensions are kind of building again. We have this piano line that I wrote right here, which is just... It's the same one from the electro piano, actually. And altogether, it creates such a very defining groove for that part. Since it's halftime, I kept the same kick line, but I just put the snare. I made the snare halftime instead, and it, like I said, everything you do, even if it's the most minute detail, helps to create the vibe of a specific part. And I don't mean vibe like, oh yeah, we vibe into this, bro. I mean vibe like, what you want the listener to feel in a specific part. And all that happens in production. I'm not saying I'm a production master or anything. I'm not saying I know everything about production. I'm just saying I made these decisions for very specific reasons when I was writing this. And it all contributes to a bigger picture in the end. So going into the second verse right here, we have number one, this ad lib right here, which I can just play by itself because it's funny actually. I recorded that far away from the microphone, and I was literally just like dancing. I was like, whoa, let you fuck up, because I was just like enjoying it. And that's also one of the most important parts of recording parts like these, because you can just have fun with the vocals when you're doing stuff like that. So I just like screamed. I was like, whoa, let you fuck up, you know. So going into the second verse, the instrumentation for the transition is kind of like exactly like the first verse, but we have a snare instead, and we also have these toms that kind of reappear throughout the second verse. These ones right here, you'll hear it. It's just and it definitely adds like the right vibe I was looking for. I just wanted that. I just wanted the duka boom, because it's such a straightforward, just like it gets you right into the groove kind of thing. And then we have the hi-hats coming back right here too. Play. But yeah, other than that, not much going on. We have. It's the same, like I said, the same instrumentation from earlier, but I wanted this verse to be a lot more kind of like driving forward. Definitely less open and more compact and tight. So what I did was I took out the piano from the beginning, from the first verse that we had, like the electric piano. There's no electric piano in this verse. There's no, what else did we have that was going on? I think that was it actually. I just took out the piano and made the 808s more flashy and that kind of stuff, and it just makes it more driving, and also the flow and everything is cool too. Like, okay, so transitioning straight into vocals, we have, this is the vocal line, and it's backed by selective, not constant. It's selective, low octave. So this is what that sounds like.
I don't wanna live another lie tonight. I guess I fucked too much up, now it's cold outside, and I don't even need a ride home. Don't text my phone. I blocked your number cause we're better off alone, baby girl. Defeated by the lies I tell myself. Don't reach out cause you know,
and then
I
it comes
care
back
about
in
you.
for more tension at the very end of it.
Regardless of the pain that you know you dealt, that you know you dealt, this you
And then the chord.
and I'll take that to my grave. I tell myself every.
So you can see I put the low octave in spots that I felt that it would make it more impactful, you know. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh yeah, by the way, so if you didn't notice already, I returned the motif lyrically from the beginning. I don't want to live another lie tonight, but instead I made it a straightforward full eighth note groove. That's just, I don't wanna live another lie tonight. I guess I fucked too much up, now it's cold outside, and I don't even need a ride home. Don't text my phone. I blocked your number cause we're better off. It's just a straightforward groove, and then it transitions halfway through. Baby girl, defeated by lies I tell myself. Don't reach out cause you know I care about you. Regardless of the pain that you know you dealt, as you know you, and then as you know, and I'll take that to my grave. It's just a very like out there. You got mad dedication, man. Thank you, Ian. You said it was hard to mix, but I get lost trying to balance it all. Yeah, dude, it was very hard to get it all balanced out. So that's why, especially when I'm doing such a large project like this, I mixed while I was producing. And that sounds crazy because usually when you're writing something and you're recording something, you want to record everything first and then master afterward, and then mix afterwards. Sorry. But I chose to mix while I was working because I felt that if I mixed from the ground up, and if I mixed after adding one instrument on top of the other, it would kind of make it easier to kind of see the whole product at the very end when I'm getting everything like fine-tuned and everything. It just made it a lot easier because I didn't have to go through absolutely every single track and be like, okay, does this need to be as loud as this one, or does this need to be as loud as this one? I just made it fit while I was going through it. So and that comes in handy when you have really, really intricate backing parts like this reverse vocal right here that comes in. Also this is also this is the same kind of reverse reverb we have going on in the very beginning. You remember where it was like the piano that comes in, I don't want to live another lie tonight. It's the exact same reverse reverb, you know? And I wanted it to mimic that part again right here. So as far as backing vocals, we again have lots of ad-libs going on that come in almost halfway through. We just have it going right here. Here we go. You can't even understand what I'm saying, dude. You cannot understand what I'm saying right there, and that's the beauty of just doing ad-libs. You just mumble random words. Oh, actually, there's a lot more going on. Holy crap. So yeah, there's a lot of all of these right here. These are all the backing vocals for this part. So there's lots and lots and lots of backing vocals, which was kind of against what I wanted. You know how I said that I wanted it to be compact and like very straightforward with this verse? I definitely went overboard with the backing vocals, but overall it definitely added to a much larger effect. So let me just go through.
Now it's cold outside and I don't even need it.
Oh, damn it.
Text my phone.
So yeah, you can tell with this chord right here. Let me go ahead and put in the lead vocal just for this part. I kind of wanted to do something like I did with No Tears. If y'all are familiar with my debut single No Tears, I did something with the first verse where I stopped everything and it went into this giant chord of me saying, what was it? It was like but I didn't cry once, like that, and there's a giant chord surrounding it. And it's like everything stops for that moment, and it's just silent for a second, and then it comes back in with a verse again. So I did the exact same thing here. I like that theme a lot, so I just went with it here, and it.
That you know you do, that you know, and I take that to my grave.
The chord itself is just a minor triad. It's nothing special, really. Chord like No Tears, the No Tears chord where I went, but I didn't cry once. It was a weird sussy kind of chord, but with this one. I went a lot more straightforward because I just wanted to be very impactful. I keep using the word impactful because a lot of this, I had that word going through my head. I think my parents are listening to the live stream downstairs. What's up, Mom? What's up, Dad? That's cool. You said that it was hard to make sense. Covers bases faster. Exactly. Yeah. So.
Grave, I tell myself every day, follow up with what you say.
Right here, we have some cool rhythmic stuff going on. In the instrumentation, where is it? On the same drums that I use for those do-duka fills, I have these triplets going on. It's just boom, I'll let you go, but you know, babe. Yeah, so that was cool to do, and it also at the same time there's also the eighth hats going on in the background. So it contrasts a lot. It's very tension filled right here. Lots of pressure building for that hook again. That's exactly what I wanted. And it kind of contrasts the first verse in the weird way, because if you remember in the first verse, it was like it ended with the automation of the low pass, right? It kind of drowned out all the sound. That was a very terrible demonstration. But it kind of drowned out all the sound before going into the hook, so it kind of created this very, very open entrance into the hook. But in this verse, I wanted it to be a huge rise of tension into the hook again. That would leave the listener kind of wanting more, kind of enjoying it a lot more. And it's the same reason in the second hook, instead of using halftime like I did in the first one, I used just regular time. Like that. That's why.
Let you go, let you know, babe, you're not coming back.
Instead of back in the first hook where I did this.
I'll let you go, let you know, babe, you're not coming back home. You're not coming back home.
So definitely a lot more driving again, just like the second verse, and that definitely helped create the vibe I wanted, right? So moving on from there.
I'll let you go, let you know, babe.
And if y'all have any questions about the production or how I did anything, just feel free to ask, cause I'm covering whatever y'all want me to cover. Also, I need water. It's fine though. We'll keep going. Brought back the toms. I mean, not the toms. The shakers again.
I'll let you go, let you know, babe. You're not coming back home. You're not coming back home.
So, also one thing I want to mention before we go on. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my own mistakes here and say the background vocals, these right here, where I'm going. It's very, very rushed, actually. So if you notice when you're listening to the lead vocal versus that part, the background vocal is actually rushing a little bit. And that wasn't on purpose. That was a mistake. And I don't know why I didn't fix it before releasing it. But I'm still a new producer, so that's my excuse, I guess. But yeah.
You're not coming back home. You're not coming back home.
See? Which it really didn't matter that much. Just wanted to say that. But so yeah, back to the second hook again. We have the high vocals again, and we have the snare, and then the things again. And also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but there's not an 808 in. It's just regular bass in the hooks. So there's not an 808 going on. It's just the regular bass, and that makes it feel more open. Like I said again.
I'll let you go, let you know, babe. You're not coming back home. You're not coming.
And then the piano and kicks come back again, right here.
I finally found myself. I won't let you fuck it up for me. I won't let you fuck it up. Take your time, I don't mind.
Okay. So here's where it gets interesting. Here's where it gets really interesting. So this is the kind of bridge section into the Iro beat switch, right, as you all know. And I had this kind of idea going in my head, and I was like, that'd be super cool to like do on the bass too. So I completely did not mean to do that. I completely went with a different bass pattern here. Instead of going with a boom, 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 I switched up the chord progression here because I wanted it to be very, very upfront in your face that we're going into a different section here. Like, things are changing here. We're doing something different than what we've been doing for like the past minute and a half. So right here, the bass goes boom, boom, down, boom, that, don't about, da 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 da, boom, back, board, da da, boom, bam, 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 boom, da ba dum, ba, da da da, boom. And it's kind of like a dancey kind of rhythm, like that's the reason I have this kind of like drum thing, this drum breakdown going on at the very end. That's like this thing right here. That's like, play, come on. That right there. I just wanted to dance to that, like the boom, 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 I just wanted to dance out. Kind of. This is also a callback to kind of like Jaden Smith. In Jaden Smith's song 90, he has a similar transition where it goes into a bridge section where the drums are kind of doing this like do do ga do ga do ga ga do ga do ga, and I was like, I kind of wanted to emulate that but not make it too obvious, so I put it at the very end just as kind of like a signal that we're going into some faraway land right after. But other than that, we have the same vocal processing here with the high octave going on, no low octave or anything. I wanted this part to be very high and heavy, just to kind of put less pressure on your ears. And this is kind of like just like the hook, but less compact, and it's even more open than the hook. Like you know how I said I wanted the hooks to be very open and kind of like you're flying and flowing in a certain way. So I kind of wanted to make this bridge feel a lot more open. So I took out the snare completely. I took out the shaker. So it's really just vocals and bass right here. It really is. Like, there's not even piano, not even transitions or anything. It's just vocals and piano. And so I'll just play it through.
Mind when you cry, it's alright. It's character development. I think I've had too much of it.
Okay, so I lied. There's not actually a high octave here. It's just these background vocals right here, which are just, come on. So yeah, right there, it fades out because what I do is I recorded it on my phone. I recorded that part by itself on its phone, on my phone, like on voice memos, because I wanted it to have kind of like a weird transition effect. So what I did is I have this coming in.
I told you not to miss your train.
So then that happens. And it's a really interesting effect when you listen to just the vocals and everything, like by itself. Let me go over here and then solo the vocals again. Also, wait, yeah, there we go. So let me just play that part. Yeah, it's very interesting. Just listen closely. Just like listen to how it.
You know we're not the same. I told you not to miss your train.
Like that, you know. It just becomes way more compact. It transitions very seamlessly into what you would hear through a phone speaker. And right after that, obviously we have this thing right here, which is which is like what just happened? That's totally out of nowhere. Like where did that even come from? And actually, it's just a bunch of voice memos I recorded on my phone of me dropping my phone on the ground. So altogether, or actually let me just play it one by one. So we have, hold up, this one, which is, fuck. Right, and that one's the most prominent because I say the F word there, but right here you can also hear it, and then and then here's the most like heavy one. Very windy. So all of them together create this right here, which is crazy. And they're all panned slightly like one way or another, so it kind of creates this like you're falling right now. It's not just like in front of your face, it's like happening all around what your listening area. It feels like you're like, whoa, what's happening? Oh god, I just fell on the ground. I'm a phone. And then right after that I have this white noise that I recorded on a voice memo, just to make it feel more kind of like vintage. I don't want to say vintage, but it makes it feel more real instead of it just being the Avatar sample right there and nothing else. Cause then it does feel like it's actually on a phone. Cause if you listen here, I EQ'd it, so it's really just mids and kind of slight highs. So it feels like the Avatar thing is coming through a phone speaker too. So if you just listen to that by itself.
I'm mugging you. With that stance? What?
And also, if you heard there, it kind of like cuts out kind of a little bit. That's because it has a noise gate on it that is side chained to the to this specific phone falling voice memo, I think. So I don't know how to explain this in audio production terms, but basically the noise gate is basically making it it's making the audio come down on the Avatar sample every single time there's a certain amount of audio happening in another thing. That was super vague. That was really vague. I don't know why I explained it like that, but basically it's being triggered by this voice memo right here. So it makes it feel more like, it makes it kind of feel like it's on like an iPhone earbud speaker thingy, earbud microphone, I guess, if that's the term to use. Like you're dropping your phone and it has earplugs plug into it, and the microphone is hitting the ground, so it's kind of like if you were to, I can't explain it well. Just listen to it. I don't even care. You hear how it comes down?
stands. What?
Like that.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Just give me your money, old man.
So all together.
What are you doing? With that stance? What? What are you talking about? Just give me your money, old man. With a poor stance, you are unbalanced and you can be easily knocked over.
So I was scrolling through different Avatar like Iroh quotes because I wanted to use a Uncle Iroh quote as a sample there because I was just like, fuck it, why not? So I did it and I found that one and I was like, that'd be a sick transition. Like him falling and that sound he makes where it's like that, like the falling sound just like so yeah. That's something really, really interesting, actually. Something really, really interesting about this sample is that the hi-hat sound that's used throughout this entire outro section is actually a sample from this part right here. So like if I'll just go ahead and sample the hi-hat sound I have going on right here. It's just this. And I was like, I heard that and I was like, that'd be a really cool like just hi-hat sound like but yeah, so it's crazy because it's actually at the right tempo or relatively at the right tempo for me to just cut it and then repeat it a bunch. It's at 100 beats per minute. And if you listen to the sample again, you'll hear it. You'll hear exactly what it is. It's literally right there. Let me play it one more time. I'm gonna play it one more time. I heard that and I was like, hold up. So I decided to use it. And also, this sample right here is from Splice. And I wanted to tune it down just a little bit. So it's actually in C minor. I think it's in C minor. Let me check the... I might be wrong. I think it's in C minor. Not C sharp minor because I tuned it down just a little bit because I didn't like how bright it sounded. So I did that. And then I realized that the flute playing in the background of this scene in Avatar is actually in C minor. Like you listen to it. Hold up. That's a C minor riff right there. Ba, right? So I realized way after the fact that flute is in the exact same key as this whole section right here. I did not mean for that to happen. That was a complete coincidence. So after the fact I was like, wait, what? So you're telling me this, it feels like this sample was made specifically for this song. Don't take that out of context. I didn't mean that. When I get sued by Avatar, I didn't mean that. I didn't say that. But yeah, it just fits so well in this section. But anyway, that's my TED Talk. So other than that, we don't really have much else going on up here. But this is the whole beef of it right here. This is the, I'll just play the instrumental by itself, so y'all can hear it. So we got yeah, then the verse starts, but I'm just gonna go ahead and skip over here because this is where it gets interesting. But the hi-hat pattern right there is actually pretty cool. It's just It's very nice. It's a very, very cool hi-hat pattern. I can imagine it being like on some marching snare part. And then it does this triplet thing. So yeah, that's that. I just wanted to go right there and say that because that's cool. But what we have right now is coming from, I think this is like Kyle's Andromeda pack. I don't even know who the dude is, but I got this free pack because I don't really pay for my drum packs. I just kind of get whatever free ones are on the internet, and it works. So these kicks are from the Andromeda pack, and they're very nice. Boom. Boom, boom. And again, just like in the verses from earlier, from Act 2 or whatever, there's a sub right under the kicks. So putting them both together, you can kind of hear it. Boom, boom. It's just barely there. If you're listening with headphones, you probably can hear it, but if you're not, it's probably going to be very hard. So it's right here. So again, it just kind of adds that extra punch. And the snares are all in one MIDI thing. They're all from the Andromeda pack, and they're this snare. Let's see, this one, that one, and this one. And they all come together to make a beautiful snare sound. It's kind of like a clap more than a snare, but it works. I like it a lot. And then one of the last things we have in instrumentation is we have this lighter sound right here, which is pretty cool. I just put a bunch of reverb on, which is cool. And then we also have these extra little hats right here.
With a solid stance,
Yeah, just a like tiny triplet thing right there. But yeah, so that's like the main beat by itself. I'll play the drums just by themselves for y'all to hear. For the first half of it, or for the first 2/3 of it, we don't have any bass going on. It's just the beat and then vocals. But I really like how I brought in the 808s halfway through, which I can just play right here. The 808s are actually pretty interesting. There's lots of crazy slides going on. Yeah, right here.
Take it how you wanna.
So yeah, just a cool 808. So last but not least, wow, this live stream has gone on forever. Holy crap. Thank you all for sticking around for so long. I know this has been a long live stream. I did not mean to drag this out for this long, but it's a crazy song. There's a lot going on. So lastly, we have the vocals. And the vocals are kind of processed the same as before, but there's a bit of a weird thing going on. We have the vocal transformer, but it's being automated. So if I was going to go to the vocal transformer, the format, you can see it kind of goes all over the place. And so if I were to bring up the mix on the format, you would hear actually what's going on here.
You know, in the past I was lost. I don't feel the pain, but that's part of the cause. Yeah, all these bridges I cross.
Oh wait, that's right. I have to hold up. All right, so this is gonna be painful. Oh wait. Yeah, I think the mix is automated too. So hold up. Yep, there we go. So if I bring this up, and y'all will be able to hear exactly what's going on with the automatic.
The past I was lost. I don't feel the pain, but that's part of the cause. Yeah. All these bridges I crossed. I don't wanna look back, and I'm so exhausted. Will you keep me honest? I swear that I'm on it. Do anything to make you feel in your funnest, while he's in the back making beats for a contest. I'll give you all you wanted, babe. Your beauty got me honey. Lace so many.
So it's kind of self-explanatory, but because the mix is so low, it's not very, very prevalent, but you can kind of hear it happening within the overall like sound of the vocals if you listen closely when you're listening to the song. But yeah, so I finished the song and I finished that last bridge part, and I just felt like there needed to be something else in the song. Like there needed to be like some kind of outro section, and I didn't know if I wanted this to be a different track on an EP or something, but I just decided to make it happen, and so now the song is like 5 minutes long, which is cool. But as for background vocals and stuff, lots going on here. Very, very, very much going on here. Like my friend Percy mentioned right after the song premiere happened, and I got on Instagram Live, he told me he really, really, really liked how there's so much going on in the background here as far as the vocals go. And honestly, I was so thankful for that, because like when I was writing this part and I was doing all these background vocals and everything, I was really anxious about how it turned out, because usually on our R&B part like this, you don't have that many background vocals. Like maybe an ad lib here or there, but never as much as I have going on here. Like there's so much happening. So to start off, we have this reverse reverb build up that's happening.
It's different. You know, in the past I was lost. I don't feel the pain, but that's part of the cause.
So, it adds the texture that I want. Just like earlier with the second verse. Remember how it was like,
I don't wanna live another lie tonight. I guess I fucked too much up now. It's cold out.
Over here.
I don't wanna live another
Like that. It kind of just comes in your face like that, and it's the same way over here. It's the exact same way over here. Sorry, it's like.
You know, in the past I was lost. I don't feel the pain, but that's part of the cause.
But so, something I really liked about this part is that I had the vocals kind of high in the mix, just high enough that they're kind of in your face, as compared to earlier in the song when they're kind of pushed back just a little bit to compensate for the rest of the instrumental going on, because you remember there's a lot going on in the instrumental in the verses from earlier, but here there's a lot less going on with the beat, as you can tell. It's just a simple kick, there's a snare, there's some hi-hats going on, there's a synth melody going in the background, so there's really lots of space to work with vocals, which is why, as you can see here, I did so much with the vocals. So I guess I'll just go ahead and start by playing all the vocals by themselves and letting you hear all the background vocals by themselves and like letting you hear what's going on. So So yeah, crazy, insane. There's so much. So first of all, obviously we have this kind of like laid back kind of version of me saying like it's just, you know, in the past I was lost. I don't feel the pain about that. It's just like me kind of like murmuring it kind of. But that's this. That's definitely not that. It's this right here. It's very laid back in the mix right here. Play it, bro.
I was lost. I don't feel the same, but that's part of the cause. Yeah. All these bridges I crashed.
Also, the lyrics are wrong.
I'm so exhausted. Will you keep me honest?
Yeah, if you listen right here, the vocals change. I mean, the lyrics are different right here.
He's in the back making beats for a contest. Oh, you want it, babe? Beauty got me.
So yeah, whatever. But so interesting part. I have these vocals going on in the background because I didn't want it to be just rap. I didn't want it to just be me front and center rapping. I wanted there to be some kind of melodic, some kind of interesting melodic stuff going on in the background, which is why I have this right here. And then And then, so yeah, pretty cool. That definitely aids a lot. If you
Was lost, I don't feel the pain, but that's part of the cause, yeah. All these bridges I crossed, I don't wanna look back and I'm so exhausted.
So yeah, other than that, we have a bunch of ad libs going on. There's really just this ad lib for now, but then it gets really intense later. Yeah, no, it's just me like yelling what's going on. And honestly, like when I'm recording this stuff, my family gets so mad. Last time I saw you stream, I was doing duels on Bad Lion. Yep. That's a fact.
Want it, baby. I'll give you all you want it, baby. Beauty.
Next, after that, we have these kind of. There's lots of like screaming ad libs going on, and I want to go in and I want to dissect like all of these, but that would take way too much time. So I'm really just gonna focus on the main things. We have this right here. We have whoop, which y'all will hear in just.
Babe, lay, say, woof.
So yeah, it's kind of cringy listening to it by itself because there's really random sounds going on, which I definitely should have cut off in the first place. So you can hear me going like in the middle of recording, and it's really annoying. But yeah, so that's happening right there. We have this woo that I recorded all by itself, like on multiple different tracks. It's not just a copy; they're like at different pitches because I wanted it to sound like a group was saying woo. And it's the same thing with this woof right here that I have.
No, we're there today now. I'm the one who does it on a budget, and we don't need to talk about it. No, there's no.
So yeah, after that, we have this kind of like this right here.
I don't want to keep.
Isn't a good, not a good. Hold up. Not a good vocal performance at all. Honestly, that was a terrible vocal performance, but it added to the overall sound of it, and that's what I liked about it. It's the same thing with like I don't know, but the main takeaway from this that y'all should really get is that when you're doing a lot for a certain production, when you're like doing a lot, and I mean like 123 tracks, because that's the amount of tracks that are in the song. Most important thing when you're creating lots of tiny elements that build up into larger layers that create the overall sound of the song is that you should really have fun with it, because no one's listening to the specific details, no one's listening to every tiny ad lib that you make, unless they've listened to the song like 100 times, then maybe. But other than that, like no one's really listening to all that stuff, which is why I have so many layers. And one of the best advice that I got. One of the best pieces of advice that I got from one of my friends, Louis Texador, who does mixing and mastering. He actually mastered this song. Thanks, Louis. But one of the biggest takeaways I got from him is that your goal in mixing and producing it should not be to create as many tiny details as possible. Your goal should be to have all of these tiny details and tiny ad-libs and tiny vocal effects add up to create larger layers and larger sounds that are going to be more impactful in the long run. And I keep using that word impactful because everything that I do production-wise is done for an impact, for the effect of impact, for the effect that someone's going to listen to that and be like, dang, all these sounds that are happening in the background are just like, they're just going with it. They're just vibing, right? You just want them to become part of the vibe that you want the listener to experience. And I keep using the word vibe too. And I mean it. Like vibe, obviously I don't usually say like, oh, let's vibe with this, bro. But it, like I said earlier, it's part of what makes the song an actual song. And I could talk for hours about how production does this and how every little piece of processing on here actually adds up to create that kind of effect. But that would take way too long, and we're already like an hour and a half into this stream. So I'm, yeah. I'll probably finish up here in a second. But if y'all have any questions about anything, literally anything in the song, now's a good time to ask. Because I'm gonna be getting off soon. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I really wanted to talk about it. I added back in this section right here, this thing right here.
I don't wanna live another lie tonight. I guess I fucked too much up, now it's cold outside, and I don't even need a ride home. Don't text my phone. I blocked your number cause we're better off alone, baby girl. Defeated by the lies I don't.
So, right there, if you guys didn't notice, there's this kind of like the 808 tone becomes so different and distorted. That's because it's a completely different track, and it kind of does this cool 808 slide, which I love so much. So it goes from this like very kind of like easygoing tone, which is just and I love that so much, and I can't wait to do that live because it's just such a nice like just effect. And also at the same time, you can see in the MIDI right here all the snares cut out for this part, so it's just so it's just kind of like highlighting that bass, and it gives kind of like a moment of silence, just like this part right here, which is the
and I'll take that to my grave.
It's kind of like that, but it's within the realm of the groove, and it helps kind of contribute more because the line that I have, defeated by lies I so much, so don't reach out. That part right there, it comes like halfway through the measure, so there's time for something to happen. If I just left it and I just did like the regular groove that had been going on right there, it would have been cool, but it wouldn't have had that effect. It wouldn't have had that impact. So adding this 808 right here and taking out all the snares, not just from a production standpoint, but from like an arranging kind of like structural tension and release kind of standpoint, this is very, very, very cool.
Defeated by the lies I tell myself.
It gives it room to breathe, and also I add in this little hi-hat thing. It just gives like the instrumentation time to shine. Like people hear that and like, oh, that beat is cool. That beat is hip, dude. You know, so
Defeated by the lies I
booted. It's just booted like that. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that again. But that's pretty much the whole song. Yeah, dude. No questions. So, Marshall said, how do you normally choose to fill space in a mix? More instruments or layering? Layering, dude. More instruments does not mean a better sound. If you add more instruments, that is not a good way to fill space. You can fill space with 2 instruments, dude. You can fill space with 3 you can fill space with just 1 instrument, dude. You can fill space with what do I mean by that? What I mean when I say like 1 instrument is, take for example this part where I do that you know, this part right here,
and I'll take that to my grave.
So if I had left that part with just 1 vocal and like I had everything cut out, it would have been that you know, and it would have just been that vocal. So like for example, if y'all will just let me go ahead and take out all of that, and then y'all can actually hear what it would sound like without that. So,
You tell that you know, and I'll take that to my grave.
So that's a weird example to use, but at the same time, it kind of illustrates how I used the same instrument, being my voice, over multiple layers to layer onto each other and create a larger sound that kept within the realm of loudness and the realm of mixing that I wanted. But it worked. I didn't need to have a bunch of instruments, although there are a lot of instruments here. This is really a bad example to use for this kind of question because there is so much going on in here. And working with these many instruments and this many sounds takes a lot of diligence and it takes a lot of patience. So definitely, yeah. But to give like another kind of example. Oh yeah. Okay, I probably should have said that. Yes, they're all panned in different directions. And that's another way you can achieve fullness through mixing. All of these, if I just like expand real quick, you can see on the left right here, all of these different ones right here are panned to the right and the left and in all different directions, and it makes it just wider in general, which is great. So yeah, that is great. One problem that kind of relates to that question that I found with this song when I finished it and I sent it over to Lewis to get mastered and I got it back was that I noticed that it didn't really compare to industry level like loudness. And it didn't really have the same kind of emphasis that a lot of hip hop and R&B tracks have today. Obviously because I'm not a pro mixer, but also because I didn't use my instrumentation wisely. What you'll notice in a lot of like radio tracks and a lot of really high quality pop records is that the vocals are the most important part, and obviously the vocals are the loudest part in the mix. In this song, the vocals were not the loudest part. The vocals kind of like leveled down in many ways to the rest of the instrumentation, and it was kind of the effect I want. It was kind of the effect I wanted in some ways. But what I notice is that you can get the same loudness, same overall loudness, with mixes like these that have lots of instrumentation that you can get with just like one or two instruments. Like for example, if I did just acoustic guitar and vocals, like for example, Hypothesis isn't a good example because it wasn't mixed properly at all or mastered. But with just a guitar and your voice, you can get so much more clarity, so much easier than you can with such a large, broad mixing standpoint with so many different instruments. What I'm trying to get at here is that with less instruments, you can actually achieve a greater mix, and actually be louder or get perceived louder than using all these things, than using all these instruments, which I definitely didn't explain well because I don't explain things well at all, ever. Because I never know where to play stuff. So with panning stuff out, you just kind of have to trust your gut, and you just kind of have to pan in different directions. It really doesn't matter how far left you pan it or how far right you pan it. A lot of the time with stuff like this, a good thing to do is to hard pan a lot of things, but only hard pan something if you have plans of hard panning something else on the left side. Because if you're listening to that and out of nowhere you just hear something going on all the way back here and then nothing over here, that's going to be really awkward. You want to have kind of like a symmetry going on with the ears, especially in parts like this. You want there to, if there's something hard pan to the right, you want something hard pan to the left too. That's my main rule. And I actually made the mistake of not doing that a couple times when I was in the beginning stages of making this, and I fixed it later. But you always want it to have kind of like an equal sound. So yeah. Mixing this was crazy, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. This was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done musically. But I enjoyed every second of it. I would get in here like 4 or 5 hours a day and work on this song. Over the course of July and August, I think I finished it in mid-August. So I had time to distribute it. But yeah, I finished it in mid-August. So I was literally getting in this room and working on this laptop with this mic. I record on this microphone, by the way. This is the microphone I record all my vocals on. Got on it, and it was like I was just on here for so long, and sometimes my family would get mad because my dad would be on calls, and like I would be just screaming into my microphone, right? And like my dad's like, okay, Ryan, tone it down. You're screaming into your microphone. Like sometimes I'd be just like belting into it, and that's how I get a lot of the background vocals. Actually, if you listen closely, there's a lot of background vocals where I'm literally just yelling straight into it. So yeah, no, it was definitely a process. Never underestimate the power of a huge project like this. And I know, are you doing any kind of like production stuff, Marshall? Like, are you I don't know. Are you working on like orchestral stuff or anything like that? Because I know orchestral mixing is a way different kind of like battlefield than R&B and hip hop type mixing. Because you gotta value different things in that setting. I don't know how to mix violins or horns or woodwinds. That stuff is crazy. I don't even have a mixing teacher or anything like this. All of this has been a self-teaching process, and it's been great. So I'm not gonna like drag this on for too much longer, but yeah, that's home. There will definitely be more music. Sway like very very soon, sooner than you guys probably realize. But yeah, so. Oh, Jesus. I'm releasing something huge on my birthday, which is October 28th, or on Halloween. I haven't decided yet, actually. But we're getting there. Expect new music on the way soon. But what else do we got here? I am bad, but I work on it in free time. Yes, I'm working on my own stuff, so not orchestral, just stuff I want to make, sort of new wave pop. Yeah, dude, that's cool. And I'm sure that takes a lot less instrumentation too, so I assume it's probably a lot easier. I want to go to a song where I don't have this much instrumentation. Like, what's a good song to use? I have a song. I really don't want to like preview anything I haven't shown yet. But if I was gonna open up, like for example, if I was gonna open up Taste, I could show you Taste, and that's a whole nother thing. Cause I think there were only like 40 things on that. There were only 40 tracks on Taste. So if I were to go in that right now and show you guys, it's there's not a lot going on there. It does, but I end up with terribly open mixes where I don't know what to do. Open mixes. What kind of instrumentation do you have? Like, is it just like drums and guitar, or like how are you doing it? So this is Taste. It's not color coded or anything because I never planned on showing it to a live or anything like that. But
She said I'm too confused.
So I was talking earlier. Okay, all right. Jesus Christ. Holy crap. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what that was about. But here I have these guitars, which all layer together to create one good sound. So it's just this. So with that, why I did this, why I just made like 4 different guitars, I just kept like kind of like adding on to the sound of the guitars, and it just kind of sparked an idea for me, so I kept doing that, and eventually it just sounds like one sample. Like, really, all of this together could be one sample from any other song, and y'all wouldn't even know it. But it's really 4 different layers of guitar, all stacked on one another, that create kind of one specific sound. And if you look, once again, they're all panned different ways. They're all panned way different ways. And for the vocals, I'm not gonna do a full breakdown of this. I just want to show you like what I have going on here. There's 3 layers of vocals, which creates a very aggressive tone, which I kind of wanted. I wanted a very rough, kind of like, kind of vintage, kind of not super refined kind of tone for taste, which you can tell when you listen to the song all the way through. It's very prominent. But I have a mid. I have a center vocal, which is this.
She say I'm too confusing.
And they also have a slight delay on them. So ways. All right, here's ways to make your mixes less not full. Oh my god, ways to make your mixes more full. Some really cool things you can do is you can add a delay on your vocals, you can add a reverb, and it kind of opens it up, but at the same time it makes it have more depth, and depth is what you want. Openness is a different thing, and when you're creating like new wave pop, I assume you really don't want an open sound. You kind of want more of a toned down, kind of like straightforward, like, or like I don't know. That was a stupid example. But with MIDI, the closest you can get is painting hard and playing for the day. With MIDI, I would recommend stacking different pianos or different synths or whatever, because don't just use one synth. I would definitely stack different synths and then pan them from left to right. Also, if you're in Logic, actually I don't know if it really pertains to Logic, but I would get the Ozone Imager. It's a free plugin, and you can use it to widen whatever. You can use it to widen your entire mix, or you can use it to widen a specific instrument. I didn't use it in Taste at all, but I use it in Home and some new music I'm working on right now. But so with these vocals, we have a left and right, and then we also have a center. So that helped a lot. And also, for no wave pop, a good thing you can do is have you can double your vocals by either literally doubling the vocal track you already have, and then panning it to the right, and then panning the first one to the left, and then moving the second one forward a little bit so it doesn't phase. Or you can just create a new vocal track and just record the same vocal again, and you can hard pan them left and right. Hard pan them left and right, and it creates this really cool doubler, like doubler delay kind of effect. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So I would do that, and then what else do I have going on here? I also have, on top of this guitar, I also have this synth going in the background, which is this. Very faint, very, very faint, but it kind of adds more depth again to the mix, which is always what you want. Don't go for openness. When you're making decisions, think about how much depth the mix has already. If it has a flat depth, if it doesn't feel like there's lots of space being occupied, then you either have a flat mix or you have a very, very wide open mix. And having either of those isn't a bad thing. It's all relative to what your opinions are. But if you're going for a very full mix with lots of lots of space filled, your best bet is probably to, dude, I don't know. I'm not even kidding. You really shouldn't be asking me. I don't know a lot about mixing. I'm really a noob. Send you instrumentals and stuff. I do double vocals exactly like that. I have pads and leads. Okay. Yeah, dude. That's what works. That's what you want. Definitely, man. Okay. I'm gonna get off here and post this live stream to the YouTube. So for everyone watching afterwards, thank you all for sticking around, and thank you for listening to Home and appreciating the music I do. Y'all are great. And I'm gonna go ahead and get off. But yeah, stream Home, new stuff coming soon. Y'all are the best. Oh wait, I watch this. Hold up, watch this. Oh wait, no. Oh, look at that. I'm on the screen now. But yeah, so that's cool. I will see you guys later.